Welcome to the Cryptonomatron. Today I'm doing another ICO review. This one is on Hyundai DAC or Hdac. So what is the Hdac ICO? Well, Hdac or Hyundai DAC is the world's first Internet of Things contract and payment platform based on blockchain technology. Backed by Hyundai BS&C, their new technology allows fast, secure and effective communication between IoT devices. So, what are their competitors in the space already? Well, the only other competitor in this space currently is IOTA, and it's not technically blockchain technology, it's actually Tangle. So Hdac will be the first to apply blockchain technology to the Internet of Things. Ethereum is theoretically capable of this, but as yet it's not been used to do so, nor is it proven. So the problems they intend to solve here are, by 2025 there will be 30 billion Internet of Things devices connected, but no blockchain technology, and the Internet of Things industry is on the verge of exponential growth, but there's no blockchain technology covering it. In addition to this, these devices need authentication to be able to be correctly identified by one another on a network. They also need mapping, which is seamless connections between the devices, and they also need to be able to facilitate micropayments between the devices or machine-to-machine M2M payments. So the aims of Hdac are to combine blockchain, Internet of Things and fintech technologies. They want to allow automated M2M or machine-to-machine ultra low-cost micropayments between Internet of Things devices so that you can monitor how much electricity they're going to use, you can turn them off, you can operate it within specific parameters or specific budgets. And they want to authenticate, map and verify using the blockchain. So how does it work exactly? Well, it's quite complicated, so I've tried to simplify it a little bit here. The Hdac system uses a combination of public and private blockchains, which allows for previously unattainable transaction speeds. The technology will use quantum random number generation to secure these transactions. Now don't worry about what quantum random number generation means. I'll discuss that a little bit later on. So in essence, they're going to use the blockchain to facilitate a system where you will have a public blockchain that has all the information and is publicly accessible, and then your private blockchain within a household or within a office, which will contain all the private information and will be requiring permissions to access. So the philosophy behind it is they want to improve payment environments in daily contracts, settlements, loans, investments, taxes and utility bills, and they should all be seamless and easy transactions. They also want to promote reasonable consumption and accurate, smart management for all communication and utility expenditures. The Hdac token will be a blockchain-based smart token generated on the Hdac platform. It will perform the cryptocurrency function within the Internet of Things environment. So it will be used for micropayments between the devices when they communicate. It will hopefully evolve into a cryptocurrency-based, fintech specialized platform, which goes way beyond the Internet of Things into other uses. It will include a hardware wallet, which is quite interesting, and it will be on the exchanges. You'll be able to use it eventually for P2P payments. So, focusing specifically on the initial use case, which is the Internet of Things applications. How is the blockchain going to be used? Well, what will happen is sensors will connect devices using your private blockchain within a domicile, an office, your home, for example. Now, this will allow devices to operate more safely and efficiently, because currently there is no control or communication between all of the devices within a household. So it will require user authentication, obviously, so only people that use the system can get in and get access and change the parameters, set budgets, etc. It will have mutual authentication between the devices, so each device will be able to make sure it's all on the blockchain and be communicating where it needs to send the data. It will generate and securely record operation details and scenario-based Internet of Things contracts. So all the information will be recorded, and you can also get details from scenario-based contracts that the Internet of Things will use to work out maximum efficiency given certain parameters. It will then interact with a public blockchain, giving the certain information to the public blockchain to increase efficiency and interactions. So how is it going to work exactly? Here's a graphic from the white paper that I stole, and on the left hand side you can see the private blockchain, and on the right hand side the public blockchain network. So on the left hand side we have the typical home. It has a small a network of devices, as you can see. They will be controlled with a smart wall pad. There will be, for example, a security system, a smart LED light, Wi-Fi. There will be a smart home app that you can use to set up and program everything. You will have a service supplier that will supply you with all the installation and etc. You will have a remote control system when you're not in the house. You will also have a CCTV recording system as part of your home security. You will also have the vehicle entrance control to your vehicle, as well as other features, warm-up, start, etc., all which are being incorporated into modern vehicles and homes at the moment. And you'll be able to control this all as part of a blockchain node. Then it will communicate with the other homes on the blockchain network, as you can see on the right hand side, where they will share the data between themselves. And this will mean that they can give information to this smart home service platform about electricity, communication, energy, shopping, etc. And what basically it means is it's going to give an improvement in your daily life. So what are the features of this Hdac platform then? Well, they're going to use custom digital assets, or tokens as we know them, and they can be created and used. It will have rights management functions, so you'll be able to access it only when you need to, or you can assign permissions. It will have convenient installation and configuration functions, and it will have enhanced multi-user signatures. Further features will be better capacity, security, functionality, and speed over existing most blockchains. It will have flexible block and extra data size. It will be virtually hacker-proof due to quantum number generation, and it utilizes what they call an e-proof of work algorithm, which we'll discuss a little bit later. So having a look now, there are more features. The blockchain will be utilizing what's called a multi-chain, and that's based on an improved Bitcoin blockchain. And it can be applied to various service fields such as finance, Internet of Things, distribution, logistics, public data management, and more. So, about the consensus algorithm now. The consensus algorithm can be a number of different methods. At the moment, there are the main ones are proof of work, which Bitcoin utilizes, Ethereum currently utilizes. There are also a proof of stake, which some coins utilize, and there's also distributed proof of stake as well. Now, what Hdac want to do is use proof of work, but they've got a different system called e-proof of work as their consensus algorithm. And what this is essentially is a proof of work system based on equitable chance and energy saving, hence the e-proof of work. And what that means is they will reduce the number of nodes participating in the proof of work system to make it more efficient when you're actually mining. So this is a mineable coin, guys. It will also motivate the participation of multiple mining nodes, meaning the distribution will be more distinct, therefore less chance of centralizing using big mining farms, etc. So the aim ultimately is to eradicate power inefficiency, which is incredible with current proof of work mining, especially Bitcoin and ASIC mining, and also aims to eradicate the mining monopoly of the large mining companies like Bitmain, etc., which can only really be a good thing, I think, in the long term. So here we see the different features of the DAC in comparison with Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. So the main features in Bitcoin, it's mainly used now as a store of value, but it was intended to be a peer-to-peer payment system that used blockchain technology, but it's obviously now being used more of a store of value due to high fees and other advanced technologies taking over from that. Hyundai, the DAC, the Hdac want to use the Internet of Things on a public and private blockchain system. And Ethereum, the main feature is the smart contracts, obviously. So the consensus, as I briefly discussed there, consensus algorithm for Bitcoin is obviously proof of work. And with Ethereum is currently proof of work, but they may be switching to proof of stake. And the Hyundai DAC is this proof of work, and it's trust-based. So the transaction speeds are markedly improved for the Hdac system. As you can see, Bitcoin can only handle 7 transactions per second at the moment, and Ethereum can handle only 25 transactions per second at the moment. Hdac will handle 160 initially, moving up to 500 transactions per second, with the intention of making that 1,000 transactions per second eventually. The block time for Bitcoin is 10 minutes, Hdac 3 minutes, and Ethereum a mere 12 seconds. The block size, 1 megabyte for Bitcoin. Of course, that was the whole reasoning behind the recent SegWit 2x, was to increase the block size to 2 megabytes. Hdac will have a dynamic block size with a maximum of 8 megabytes, same as Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum has a dynamic block size. Now, the extra data that will be required for the movement around the blockchain and other things will be 80 bytes for Bitcoin at the moment, and for Hdac it's dynamic with a maximum of 4 kilobytes, and of course Ethereum uses gas, and that's a minimum of 5 gas per byte at the moment. So the topology for Bitcoin is a public blockchain. Hdac will be both public and private blockchains with permission blockchains, and Ethereum currently is a public blockchain and it's permissionless. So onto the quantum random number security. It sounds complex, it really isn't, although I wouldn't like to be developing it or programming it myself. I don't really have those skills. But what it essentially is used for is the private keys, the public keys, and the wallet address generation within the system. What it does it will address the vulnerability with the pseudo random numbers generation that wallets currently use, which advanced machines and quantum computers can apparently theoretically guess the random numbers. So having quantum random numbers will eliminate that. So it won't be able to be analysed theoretically, even with a quantum computer. So it's a big step forward. It therefore will be effectively hacker-proof, and it will be implemented with the introduction of a hardware wallet as well, which is very exciting. As we can see, there's a graphic from the white paper with the private keys, public keys, and addresses on the right-hand side, with the quantum random number generator there, and your wallet where you will store your Hdacs. So what about the token generation, the mining, and the rewarding system? Well, the total token amount for this will be 12 billion DAC. But don't worry, they will not initially all be released. They will be mined over a period of time, and the first block reward begins at 5,000 DAC. So if you're mining it, the block reward is 5,000 DOC. The block generation cycle, as I mentioned earlier, will be every 3 minutes, and there will be a halving in about 71 months, which is about 6 years from the first Genesis block creation. So as soon as mining commences, as soon as enough blocks are discovered, there will be a halving, which will reduce the block size to 2,500 DAC. The halving will occur every 1,032,000 blocks. The total amount of tokens generated is fixed, so there will never, it's like Bitcoin, it will never be over 12 billion DAC. And it will take about 170 years to mine the total 12 billion. Now, what does that mean for the token sale? Well, it means 7% of the 12 billion Hdac will be kept for capital reserve, and 7% of Hdac will be distributed to the Hdac pre-sale and general crowd sale participants. So the remaining 86% of Hdac can be earned through equitable proof of work mining. So the token metrics and ICO details, they're only going to accept Bitcoin for this ICO, so no Ethereum, no PayPal, no other cryptos. There will be 1,800 DAC as a reward for 0.1 Bitcoin. There will be a hard cap of 6,000 Bitcoin. It starts on the 27th of November through to the 22nd of December this year. 1.6 billion DAC tokens will be issued, and the token price therefore for one DAC will be an estimated 45 cents. And of course, citizens of restricted countries like the USA, Singapore, Vietnam cannot purchase and cannot partake in the ICO. So the roadmap going forward, what they intend to achieve. Well, in 2017, they want to have the Hdac generation event, which is coming up. That's basically their name for the ICO. They want to release the Hdac consensus algorithm, the proof of work. They want to complete the Hdac operating environment. They want to field test, and that includes a mining pool, the first generation of the wallet, the Explorer, etc. They want to release a version of the hardware wallet called the Cassie 1.0. They want to release the advanced security module, the version 0.9. And they want to start releasing Hdac apps API so developers can start working on the system. And that will include the advanced security module mining, the wallet, and the Explorer. So going forward into 2018, what they got in store for us, they will release Hdac operating environment. They will release the Hdac Internet of Things contract, the smart home, the private blockchain POC, the token, the game token, the POS Hdac token site, the smart Internet of Things diffusion POC, and apply it to apartments, factories, etc. So further into 2019, they will release practical application of the Hdac Internet of Things contract and smart home, which is the Harriet. They will release practical application of the Hdac Internet of Things contract and smart factory, Mando case, and the Hdac public-private hybrid blockchain use case development. Again, it can be used in many other applications aside from Internet of Things and private domiciles, etc. You can use it for construction. There'll be many more use cases, and of course Hyundai are best placed to implement that, as they are involved in many industries in Korea and worldwide. In 2020, the roadmap continues. They will Internet of Things high-speed transaction distributed processing blockchain development. They will release private blockchain security enhancements, advanced security module version 2 will be released, and then hybrid blockchain network will go live, operation with machine currency and micropayments between Internet of Things devices. So long roadmap, and certainly very thorough and well thought out, and the vision is there. So what about the team? Well, very briefly, it's an all-star team, both the core and advisory board. They have 18 core team members and 5 advisors, And Mr. Daesun Chung is the CEO of Hdac Project. He is also the president of Hyundai BS&C, which is the overarching Hyundai arm that controls this Hdac project. So there we are there. You can look at them on LinkedIn and on the website. There's Daesun Chung in the top left-hand corner there, and all of them have very, very good backgrounds. They all seem to have good IT capability and skills. A little bit more about the advisors, as we can see here. There's only 5 of them. Eddie Travia is CEO of Coincilium. Caitlin Connors is CEO of the Fox Theory. Larry Kim is CEO of Hyundai Pay, who are a partner with Hdac. And Patrick Storchenegger, I think I've pronounced that correctly, is manager at PST Legal and Consulting, and they are also a partner with Hdac. So the partners are Double Chain, Korean Digital Exchange, PST Legal and Consulting, Deco, and other Hyundai companies. And there are many, many more on the website as well. You can go and check that out. So there's some other stuff that you might want to know about this project. They've already raised 13,000 BTC in Asia as part of the crowd sale. So there's a lot of money being raised already, a lot of hype in Asia. They're also opening a cafe called Café de Bloc in Seoul in December. And Hyundai BS&C is planning luxury apartments which will showcase the Hdac blockchain to potential users or adopters. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a smart home which will be part of a high-end brand called Hdac. So, for the positives, well, the first one is they have a working product that's being tested and developed currently, which is very, very important. You know I don't like my white paper ICOs, so seeing something that's actually being tested and developed currently is very enthusing. The second thing is it's got the backing of Hyundai. Now, they're a major corporation based in Korea and worldwide. They have billions of dollars of investments and companies that that deal from electronics to IT to cement to construction. So they are, obviously the most famous, the one that everybody will be familiar with, will be the automobiles. But they really have their finger in many pies. So they're able to support and push further than just your normal sort of homegrown ICO. They really do have immense power to make this succeed, and that's why it's very important that they are backing this project. Number 3 is Korean hype may send this to the moon. Now, as you know already, they've raised 13,000 Bitcoin, and that's not an insignificant amount by any means. Korean hype on cryptocurrencies is off the charts at the moment. They are the biggest volume traders on the exchanges. They are into everything. So, again, this will be a national pride project for them, backing this ICO. So I expect it to succeed on that basis. Number 4 is they only have one major competitor currently, and that's IOTA. And IOTA is not even a proper blockchain technology. They use Tangle. Now, I'm not going to get into the positives or negatives of Tangle in comparison with blockchain, but what I will say is having only one competitor in this space means that there's a good chunk of the pie to be had between both of them. Now, no doubt others will appear on the scene eventually, but being one of the first ones there will count for a lot. Number 5, they have an all-star team and an all-star advisory team, and that will push forward for this to succeed. So further positives, they have further use cases of this technology outside of the Internet of Things. It won't just be limited to the one use case, and the application of this technology could be widespread. You can create your own tokens, you could use it for many other industries, many other applications. The possibilities truly are endless. Number 7, they have a hardware wallet. So there are only a few companies that will be supplying or are supplying hardware wallets at the moment: Trezor, Ledger. So they're going to have a hardware wallet that you can store your DAC tokens on. Number 8, there is multi-billion-dollar market potential for the Internet of Things alone. Smart homes, smart houses, we expected since Back to the Future 2, I think back in the late 80s, have been on the cards. It's only a matter of time before the majority of people in the developed world are living in smart homes and driving smart vehicles. So the potential here is enormous. And of course, that doesn't include all the developing and third world, which will follow suit. Now, this company and the project has a very, very strong roadmap and vision that I've just outlined there quite boringly. But it's important to note that they do have the future, where this is going to go. They have it already planned. Number 10 is this Hdac represents technological advances over what is currently available, over Bitcoin and over Ethereum, which I think stands it in good stead. It's quicker, it's more secure. It really does have many advantages over the existing technology. And number 11, last but no means least, it has a new efficient mining method. So they are utilizing the already proven proof of work method and making it more efficient, more secure, and better. So that is definitely a positive. And you may see a lot of these miners moving over to support Hdac when it gets launched, when the first block is created, which will make Hdac a player in the mining game as well. Now, it's not without negatives, of course. There always has to be some, there always is. And the first one is the crowd sale only accepts Bitcoin, which I think is a bit short-sighted. They probably should have accepted at least another crypto like Ethereum, but it is what it is. It only accepts Bitcoin. There has been a relatively low hype on this project outside of Korea. Obviously, everybody in Korea has already invested in it during pre-sale, but low hype outside. They will need a massive market cap to really make any impact on the price of tokens, which could inhibit large growth of your investment. And number 4, there is a low percentage of initial distribution, which means as more and more tokens get mined, they will come onto the market, meaning if you're investing for the long term, the value may even decrease over the piece. But again, we look at Bitcoin, with mining, it's just made it even more valuable. So we'll need to wait and see on that one. And my 5th negative is, why is an ICO really needed for this project? Hdac are part of the Hyundai group. They're well funded. They have billions in profits every year. So why do they really need to take advantage having a initial coin offering for this? They don't need to. They could have funded it within their own company if they needed to. So it just looks to me like they're trying to jump on the bandwagon and raise more money through an ICO, getting more investors involved. However, that being said, what is my verdict? Suspense. Well, woolly bully. I'm giving this 5 out of 5 stars. I don't think we'll find a better project than this this year, indeed, or for the first 6 months of next year, although more and more large corporations and bigger companies are going to see the potential of blockchain. They already are, but they're trying to apply it just for their own uses, for their own internal company uses like banking or fintech, etc. You know, Hyundai is going to make this apply to everything, not only their own smartphones. This is a very smart move by Hyundai. I think I'm very bullish on this. How could you not be? Giving everything, taking everything into account and disregarding the token metrics just for a moment, this is a massive project with great potential. So I'm in it. I hope you will be too. I must point out that this is not investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is just an opinion of mine. You use your money in your own way. I will be investing. The crowd sale will start on the 27th of November, which is only a few days away. So good luck, happy investing. If you like this review, please like, please subscribe, and please sign up for alerts for the channel so you get my latest videos straight away. What would you like me to review next? Leave a comment below, and I'll try to do everything, guys, yeah? So thanks for watching, and thanks for tuning in.